International Roller Skating League presents Major League Bank Track Skating Competition from Kezar Pavilion in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. Today's game, it's the Bay Bombers versus the Manhattan Chiefs. Hello, I'm Don Drury. We're joining the action here in the fifth skating period with the Chiefs leading 26-20 over the Bay Bombers. Calling the play-by-play action with me is Ken Kunzelman. Right now, the jam is in progress. It is number 34, Dolores Tucker, out moving for the Bay Bombers. Chiefs without anybody on that jam right now as the Chief Jammers have been taken back into the pack. Joni Weston comes in with a block, puts one of the skaters down. Tucker moves up. It's Joe Tucker squatting underneath, picking up one Bay Bomber point, and is still on the move. Weston trying to move another Chief out of the way, and Gorillo goes down. Tucker goes over the top of her. Weston reaching back, trying to give a whip. Tucker moves forward to Sandy Dunn. Dunn comes up with a block, trying to stop her to the outside. Tucker moves to the inside, picked off there. Weston comes up with a block, and Dunn moved out of the way. Tucker goes through. The official decision, there were 3 Bay Bomber points scored by Dolores Tucker, the assist of Joan Weston.
Well, Don, Dolores Tucker, the all-purpose skater that you really need in the lineup somewhere. She's in the pack on defense, takes a pivot helmet when Joni Weston isn't there, and as you just saw in that play, she can go out on the jam and she can pick up the points too.
This is the second half of this game coming your way from Kezar Pavilion. 6 minutes and 55 seconds remaining here in the fifth period. The Chiefs lead 26-23 over the Bay Bombers. The pack is being reorganized. Pivot skaters must be at the front, blockers in the middle, and jammers at the rear. Once the pack is formed, the offensive jammers, the skaters with the striped helmets on, are eligible to work their way up through the pack. As they get in front of the pack, a whistle sounds. They then have 60 seconds in which to lap the pack. For each opposing skater lapped and passed within that 60 seconds, they get 1 point. The pack formed. The whistle sounds. Offensive jammer coming up. The whistle sounds again. 60 seconds. Starts to tick away as the jammer moves out with a striped helmet on. For the Bay Bombers, out moving on the play is number 31, Terry Lewis. For the Chiefs is Rita Williams. She's wearing number 44. Jammer is going down the straightaway on the inside. There's an elbow block back by Lewis into Williams. Rides her high. Williams coming back. Cross-arm block into Lewis. Lewis off balance. Stays up. Down a straightaway sidestep, and Williams misses the block. Lewis pulling off in the lead. Each team with 1 jammer out moving on the play. However, Lewis has built up almost a full half-lap lead. She'll be facing women's captain Sandy Dunn at the rear. Dunn at the rear of that pack. Weston looking to get back to help out. However, she's being kept forward in the pack by Debbie Cho. Lewis put down by Rita Williams. Dunn now looking to assist. Reaching back. Williams takes a whip. She moves up to Joan Weston. Weston set and waiting, and Cho trying to help out. However, the block from Weston is key. Stopping 44, Rita Williams from the Chiefs. Dunn hit forward. Weston comes back with a block again. In with another elbow block, and again, Weston sending Dunn forward, preventing her from dropping back to assist, and time and the jam runs out. No score. Weston holding on defense. And a timeout being called on the track with the Chiefs leading 26-23 over the Bay Bombers. Don Drury, Ken Kunzelman back calling your action. We're in the fifth skating period, and there is the perennial women's captain, number 38, Joan Weston. Ken, I think she's been on every all-star team since, must be 1963, 64?
Earlier than that, Don, since 1956, and that was 3 years after she started. She has not missed one since then.
Back is formed. Jammers are out. 4 minutes, 9 seconds left to go here in the fifth period. Then the men take over. Number 35, Judy McGuire on the move for the Bay Bombers, along with number 37, Carol Peanuts-Meyer. Kathy Ramos and Jackie Gorillo is on the track and on this play for the Chiefs. All 4 jammers out and moving. 42, Ramos moves up to the inside, takes over the lead on that jam. McGuire quickly coming back up, an elbow block, regaining the lead for the Bay Bombers. Meyer belted back again. Another block thrown in. McGuire maintaining lead possession on that jam. Easy strides, facing her way to the rear of the pack, and she'll be trying to save a little bit of energy. Skaters going down. All 3 lead jammers going down. Ramos coming up. She'll be challenging McGuire to the inside, up with a block. Heavy blocks thrown in there. McGuire and Meyer taking off of the lead. Skater coming up. Meyer squatting low, going down. And the jam called off. There were 2 Bay Bomber points scored. One by Peanuts-Meyer, one by Judy McGuire, both unassisted.
Well, Don, Meyer and McGuire, the 1-2 combination in the women's field for the Bay Bombers. In past games, they've split them up. McGuire's taking a jam, Meyer's taking a jam. But this shows you the importance, the New York Chiefs, the threat that they are, the power that they have. Meyer and McGuire throughout this game have been going together on the jams, and it has been paying off. The Bombers are down by a point right now, 26-25. But against a team like the Chiefs, 1 point is not that much.
2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining here in the fifth skating period. Bombers again trying to get that pack back in a formation, trailing by 1. Pivot skaters up in the front, blockers into the middle, jammers at the rear. Pack is now formed. All skaters in the right positions. And here is the lineup for the Bay Bomber women. Number 31 is Terry Lewis, 34 Dolores Tucker, 35 Judy McGuire, 36 Wilma Ryan, 37 Phoenix Meyer, 38 Joan Weston, and number 39 is Terry Abnett. Jam has been started, and off a whip, the pivot skater now eligible to go out and score, Joan Weston on the move, women's captain of the Bay Bombers. She's got 2 Chiefs out behind her in pursuit. Weston is out number 2-1 on the play. Bombers have been hit and put down at the rear of the pack. Phoenix Meyer and Judy McGuire. Weston looking to cut that play off as she had teammates in trouble. They could have been scored over by the Chiefs. Weston moves forward and slows down now. A double block set up by Meyer McGuire. Chief Jammers sit back, slowed down, and now Meyer McGuire take off to assist Joni Weston. Sandy Dunn back to do the blocking. Meyer McGuire coming in low and around the outside and inside. Skater taken down, Sandy Dunn. Weston still going for points, whipped forward by Meyer. Cho back with a block, hits Joni Weston high, and Weston, seeing 2 Chief Jammers moving up, cuts the play off. The official decision, there was 1 Bay Bomber point scored by Joan Weston, the assist of Meyer and McGuire.
Don, you can see the smile on Joni Weston's face. She's obviously satisfied with that play. In a situation where standard orthodoxy would tell you to cut it off, you're outnumbered 2-1. Weston went ahead. Some might say it's a gamble. Joni Weston obviously didn't think so. She knows what Meyer and McGuire can do, and it paid off. It's a tie game now, 26-26.
A minute, 2 seconds remaining here in the fifth period. Back again, must be reorganized. Point out, if this jam starts with less than a minute, it does not run the full 60 seconds. That's only the last jam in each half. Back being reorganized with a tie score, 26-26. 40 seconds left to go. Back reorganized, jammers work their way from the rear. 45, Debbie Cho trying to get out. The Chiefs, of course, in first place, have not lost a game all season. Bombers down in third place following the Pioneers. Weston again started to go out, this time dumped by Debbie Cho. Bombers now without a jammer out. And the Chiefs, the only scoring threat. Number 45, Debbie Cho. 18 seconds left to go in the period and the jam. The time is on the scoreboard. Weston dropping back on defense, and Dunn waves Cho up. The back locked up on the Chiefs. An elbow block back by Weston. Belts in with another one. Cho trying to score, moves to the outside. Again, belted back by Joni Weston. Hit back, Dunn comes in, and time of the period runs out. There was no score. So the score at the end of the fifth skating period at a tie, 26 for the Chiefs, 26 for the Bay Bombers. Don Murray, Kid Kunstman back calling your action from Kezar Pavilion. Today it's the Bay Bombers and the Chiefs. We're in the sixth skating period of this game in the second half with the score tied 26-26. Men have just taken over for their sixth skating period. Jammers are out and moving. Mike Gammon, Cliff Butler moving for the Bay Bombers. Jerry Gattell and Alfonso Reyes for the Chiefs. They have dumped Gammon and they have dumped Cliff Butler. Gammon is up and moving again, but Atkinson comes out after him. As there you see on your screen the lead jammers, Gattell and Reyes moving away. Bombers now without anybody on the move. 2 Chiefs moving on the rear. Atkinson riding Gammon back into the pack. Butler is caught in a position at the rear. He's going to have to defend for the Bay Bombers. Bombers looking for someone back there. Here come 2 of the Chiefs. Butler comes in with a block. Stops Jerry Gattell. Then Alfonso Reyes. Gattell moves forward. He's belted back. Butler doing double duty blocking. And Gammon moving out a long ways back. But look at the action here. Cliff Butler on defense for the Bombers. Butler comes up. Good solid block. Chief Jammer is trying to score again for their club with a tie score right now. Butler again stops Gattell. Reyes hit back. Gammon moving up to the Bay Bombers. Grabs the lead, cuts it off. Gammon out number 2-1. And taking no chances, cut that jam off. No score. And words being exchanged between Reyes and Gammon. Numbers flying over there. There's Mike Gammon, number 35. And his teammates quickly grabbing a hold of him. A few heated words going on. Atkinson is over now. Again, we're going to take a look at this again. Why don't you pick up the action as we watch it?
Okay, Don, I'll tell you, Mike Gammon is a guy that never lays down and says no. Taken out of the play. Cliff Butler doing double duty blocking, and the Chiefs just don't lay down. First jam right out. They send Reyes. He is really the spark plug of the team. Jerry Cattell, the big man, both with jammers helmets. They think they've got it now. They've eliminated the Bomber jammers. All they've got to do is get Butler out of the way, but that's not the way it's going to work. Here comes Mike Gammon from out of nowhere. In between, there was not room, you'd think, to get through there, but he did. And we're back to live action now, and Mike Gammon certainly was hot that time. Jerry Cattell took a little shot there.
26-26. 9 minutes, 18 seconds remaining here in the sixth skating period. Score remains tied. And there is the lineup for the Bay Bombers. 32, Mike Jump. 33, Alvin Mallory. 34, James Paul. Number 35, Dynamite Mike Gammon. 36, Cliff Butler. 38, Bill Grohl. Ron Turbin wearing the number 31 jersey. He's listed a little bit low. And number 40 is Charlie O'Connell. Jammers are out and moving on the play. 34, James Paul for the Bay Bombers, followed out by Ronnie Nelson. Number 46 of the Chiefs comes up, high elbow blocking to Paul. Paul rides it out. Screening to catch up with Nelson, stays right in, blocked from the outside, gets a warning, elbow block back to the inside, takes over the lead. Nelson sprinting back up, blocked from the outside by Paul, trying to hang on. Both skaters going up into that rail. And Tempers flying back here. Paul throws him with a good block, but Nelson gets out of the way. The Chiefs now have the only jammer, 46, Ronnie Nelson moving up. Atkinson back to lead the way. Grohl back on defense. Atkinson moving in. Jump block. Grohl taken down. Nelson going by inside. Jam called off. There was one Chief point scored by Ronnie Nelson, the assist of Buddy Atkinson. And Tempers again flying. Grohl and Atkinson up in the turn.
Don Atkinson is really taking this game to the Bombers. And there's no better place to see the difference that he's made the team than right there on that play. Ronnie Nelson coming in at the rear had no more than an average chance of picking up a point. Atkinson made it a matter of fact. And Atkinson is the big man out there that has made the complete difference in this Chief team. Since he's been in the lineup, they've moved right up to the ladder to the #1 spot, and they don't intend to give it up.
We'd like to point out that the announcers for this telecast are employed by the International Roller Skating League and are in no way affiliated with the station on which you are watching this program. The pack again being reorganized. Chiefs have jumped up on top by 1 over the Bay Bombers, 27-26. Here is the lineup for the Chiefs. In the midfield, 42, Mike Phillips, 46, Alan Littles, 47, Jerry Cattell, also wearing jersey number 47, Johnny Rice, Alfonso Reyes, 45, Buddy Atkinson, 49, and Ronnie Nelson also wearing the 49 jersey out there. Jammers are out and moving on the play. Alfonso Reyes working on 31. Ronnie Turbin puts him down. 34, James Paul moves forward, and 45, Reyes working on him, hits him, dumps him. The Chiefs, again, the only scoring threat out moving on this jam right now. Bombers, without a jammer on the play, the Bomber jammers have been taken back in. And a double block being formed by both of the jammers who are just catching up with the pack. Again, 34 and 31 cannot score. They're caught behind the pack. They're going to have to defend for the Bay Bombers now as Alfonso Reyes moves in for the Chiefs. He's the only one who can score right now. Facing a double block, is hit back and stopped. And Reyes backing off, looking for the right opportunity to make his play. No move as yet. Now Atkinson dropping back on the assist. That's a lot of weight back there, and very proficient talent. A whip. Reyes trying to find his way. He goes through the middle of a double block, and the jam is being stopped. However, fists are flying. 34 Paul and 45 Reyes down there. The officials trying to break that up. Crowd jumping up and taking a quick look at that. The timeout being called on the track. The score, the Bay Bombers 28, the Chiefs 27. Bay Bombers. Don Drury, Ken Kunzman back calling the action here in the sixth skating period from Kezar Pavilion. The score, the Bombers 28, the Chiefs 27. 5 minutes left to go. Jammers breaking out. Number 35, Mike Gammon on the move. 46, Alan Littles in pursuit for the Chiefs. Gammon trying to hang on to the lead. Littles blocking to the inside. Comes up on the block. Gammon digging right back in. Shoulder block back to the inside. Littles sidestepping. Littles trying to hang on to that lead. He comes back with an elbow block now. Back and forth. Good blocking going on the jam. Gammon hit, checked in, and over the rail. Little's moving off by himself. Billy Grohl dropping back at the rear. Atkinson hammering into Grohl as Little's moves into scoring position. And skaters going down. The jam stopped by the officials. The jam stopped by the officials. Atkinson and Grohl tangling. And I don't believe we had a score on that play. If there's a penalty on Atkinson for holding, Ken, that'll nullify the point.
Don, that's right. No point scored on that play. Atkinson a little hot about that. The fans on their feet, they're satisfied with the answer. It's still a 28-27 game. The Bombers are leading by 1 point. It's been a tight game.
28-27, the Bay Bombers on top by 1, 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. We'd like to remind the fans watching this game along the network, if you'd like information on games in your area or the Bay Bombers, write to the San Francisco Bay Bombers, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California, 94102. That's the Bay Bombers, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California. Atkinson did draw a penalty on the last play, no point, and the Chiefs shorthanded. Back being reorganized. Reyes goes to the pivot for the Chiefs. Back is formed. Grohl going after Reyes up in the front. Comes in with an elbow block. Hits him with another one. O'Connell on the block. Reyes put down. Hammers up and out. 32. Mike Chubb moving for the Bay Bombers. For the Chiefs, it is Mike Phillips out moving on the play. Hammers moving along, and Chubb trying to take over the lead, but Phillips covering him up there. Comes up with a block from the outside, rides him back. Chubb coming out of the Chief turn, unable to make that move. Now cautiously moves to the inside. Again, we'll comment. Quite a difference in size here. Chubb going in around 135 pounds. Phillips over the 200 mark. Alvin Mallory sent back to do the blocking for the Bay Bombers on defense. Reyes back there for the Chiefs. High elbow block into the head of Mike Chubb. Again, the skater hit back. Mallory eliminating the Chief jammer. Mallory moving up to try and assist Mike Chubb. Reyes back there. Jump block outside. Reyes taken out. Chubb goes through. Hit into the rail by Jerry Cattell. Mallory trying to get him out of the way. The Chief jammer goes through. And there's a situation where the young rookie just wasn't satisfied with the 1 point. Didn't pay attention. Got picked off. And the Chiefs scored as well. 1 point each way.
Don, it looked like Mike Shump was trying to call it off. He was pinned up on the rail, had one arm over the rail, and he couldn't get both hands on his hips.
Jerry Cattell coming in with a very key block right there after Reyes had been passed, Ken.
That's true. Jerry Cattell somehow with Bud Atkinson out there and all of the antics with Alfonso Reyes. Cattell gets overlooked a little bit, but this guy is a real veteran. He's coached a club before, and he can make the smart decision in the move.
There's a shot of number 32, Mike Chubb. Rookie picked up by the Bay Bombers. His parents, of course, were former skaters with the roller derby. Joe Chump and Jerry Abatello skated with Ken Monty's team for many, many seasons. A minute, 35 seconds left to go here in the sixth skating period. The Bay Bombers lead by 1, 29-28 over the Chiefs. Back is formed. O'Connell reaching back. There's a whip. Gammon flying out of that pack. A lot of speed, off balance, down to one skate, back to the other, stumbling, hangs on and is on the move. Atkinson and Butler coming out in pursuit. Bombers have the only jammer out. Number 35, Mike Gammon. Butler is breaking out of the pack again, long ways back. Gammon will be moving on the rear, and there's skaters being hit. Billy Grohl going to work on Atkinson already at the rear of that pack as Gammon moves into scoring position. Atkinson taken down. Gammon slides underneath. Butler up over the top, and the Bomber Jammers are still going. Chiefs trying to pull out of that pack. Bomber Jammers moving up. Grohl catching Atkinson, takes him down. Bomber Jammers have scored again. Chief Jammers coming up. The play called off. The official decision, there were four Bay Bomber points scored. 2 by Butler, 2 by Gammon, the assist of Bill Grohl. 20 seconds left to go here in the period. There's a shot of Buddy Atkinson, shaking up.
Okay, Don, let's take a look at this again. Mike Gammon, the money man for the team, he can do it. He had a lot of help here, too. Atkinson looking, didn't know what to do. Cliff Butler stays in there. There's your second point. Now, Gammon is still going, and Bill Grohl, picking right up on it, is going to pave the way for more points here. Gammon, a man who can go through a wall that's solid. He can find a little crack in it and go through, and he does it. There's Bud Atkinson Jr. back to live action.
We're back, and the period has just expired with the score. The Bay Bombers at the end of the sixth period, 33, the Chiefs 28. We'll be back with the women taking over for the seventh period, directly following these commercial words.
It's here.
Don Drury, Ken Konzelman back, calling the action here in the seventh skating period. Final period for the women in this game from Kezar Pavilion. The Bombers lead 33-28 over the Chiefs. Jammer out, moving on to play is Jackie Garillo for the Chiefs. For the Bay Bombers in pursuit is number 34, Dolores Tucker. Tucker comes up. Solid, good elbow blocks, a barrage of them, and Garillo put down. Bombers now the only jammer out, moving on to play. 34, Tucker moving in. Dunn back to do the blocking. Dunn comes up, elbow block to the outside, stops Tucker. Tucker looking again to score for the Bombers. Bombers leading in this game. High elbow blocks back by Dunn. Dunn trying to recapture some of the loss from the men's field on this jam right now, prevent the Bombers from scoring. Weston trying to get back to help out. Joe comes in with a block, puts 34 Tucker down. Garillo moves up for the Chiefs. Weston back a block. Garillo put down. Joe trying to get Garillo up, but time runs out. No score. No score on the play. Time in the jam running out. We'd like to point out that the telecast that you are watching is produced strictly for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any other use or reproduction of this telecast without the express written permission of the International Roller Skating League is strictly prohibited. There's a shot of Jackie Garillo. She's a tremendous jammer, kid.
A little gal, but a little gal with a lot of heart. She can really come back in a second effort on a jam. A little disappointed right now, I'm sure. The Bombers are on top by 4 points, 33-28. The Chiefs did not take advantage of an opportunity that they thought they had.
9 minutes, 45 seconds remaining for the women in this game. Bombers on top, 33-28. Track is reorganized. Whistle sounding. Jammers trying to work their way up. Bombers again trying to get that first jammer out. Peanuts Meyer moves to the inside, starts the play. Ken, why don't you call the action on this? People hear you in the building all the time, and it's very seldom that they get an opportunity to catch you. As a matter of fact, take the next two.
Okay, Don, thank you very much. Peanuts Meyer has the lead on this jam right now. And a little gal for the Chiefs coming up on her, Rita Williams. Bombers sitting on a 4-point lead right now, but with the Chiefs, you can't slacken for a moment. Williams battling, has the lead as they move on the rear. Sandy Dunn. Back with a block. Meyer taken out. Now Joni Weston there. Watching first Williams, but also watching Dunn, because Dunn could make a move here to assist. Meyer sent over the rail, and Dunn is going to move now. Trying to get Williams around one way or the other. And we've got the pack bunched up in the turn. Out of nowhere, Peanuts Meyer coming back up to the inside, calls it off. And the Bay Bombers steal one away from the Chiefs. There are 4 Bomber points. Peanuts Meyer, who was sent over the rail and off of the track a half a lap back, somehow got back in there. Dunn was not looking. There are 4 Bomber points. We are waiting. It should be 37. For the Bombers, the scoreboard has not been corrected yet. But that is a big Bomber play. 8 minutes, 15 seconds as the pack reforms. That could have been a turning point in the game if the Chiefs had been able to take the lead away. But Peanuts Meyer, another little girl with a lot of heart. She's been with the Bomber team for a lot of years, since 1959. And second effort, if ever it paid off that time. So it's 37-28. The Bombers leading by 9 points. This is as wide open as the game has been. The Bombers can sit on it now. The Chiefs have got to play catch-up. Bombers outnumbered on this jam. That's little Terry Lewis on the inside. Blocks, has the lead, and calls it off. For a minute, it looked like Lewis wasn't watching. No score on the play. Lewis outnumbered 2-1, wisely calling it off. Score remains 37 Bombers, 28 Chiefs, 7:20 the time in the period.
Gee, Ken, I would have hated to have been the scorekeeper right then. They made a mistake and put the points up for the Chiefs after that last big Bay Bomber score. And that's a dangerous thing to do.
Here at Kezar Pavilion, I think there were enough people there to set them right in their ways, believe me. Okay, the pack reforming now. Sandy Dunn, Joni Weston, the two up front with the pivot helmets. They are the captains. That's where they should be. The pivot, the safety valve for the team. If you wind up without a jammer, your jammer's outnumbered, you can send the pivot out. They have all the rights of a jammer. The only thing a pivot cannot do is start the play. And there we have the start. Debbie Cho for the Chiefs. The Bombers, Dolores Tucker. I guess maybe in baseball you could call her a utility player, but that's not the accurate term. She's an all-around player. Excellent on defense, can handle a pivot, and is on the jam, hammered in there by Debbie Cho, slammed down hard in the turn. So the Chiefs will have it all on offense right now. They've got the only jammer, that's Debbie Cho. They are down by 9 points at the halfway point in this period. And it's going to be Dolores Tucker on defense, and look at this girl dish it out now. Tucker on defense. Cho got the best of her on the jam, but she's going to have to prove herself again now. Tucker set and waiting. Hard elbow to the outside. Checks with a block. Dunn looking back. Would like to find a way to help. Tucker checking again. Riding Cho back. Time is beginning to run a little short here. Cho trying to move to the outside. Dunn back with a block into Tucker. Cho quickly moves through the inside. Calls it off. There are 2 chief points. So 37-30. The Bomber lead cut to 7.
And a timeout being called on the track. Skater shaken up down in the Bomber turn. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in this period. Bombers 37, the Chiefs 30. The Babe. Don Drury and Ken Kunzelman back calling the action here in Kezar Pavilion. We're in the 7th skating period. Final period for the women. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in this period. Bombers lead by 7, 37-30 over the Chiefs. Again, we want to remind the fans that all of the series with the Chiefs, of course, moving along very, very strongly. And tonight, the Chiefs will be battling the Bay Bombers in Oakland at the Auditorium, as well as next Saturday, their final game of the series against the Chiefs at the Oakland Auditorium. And then they open up against another big team out in San Jose. Next Sunday, the Brooklyn Red Devils come back to town. One big team after another. Jammers up and out. 37, Carol Phoenix-Meyer on the move for the Bay Bombers. 44, Rita Williams on the move for the Chiefs. 1-1 on the play. Williams scrambling down the inside, high elbow blocking to Phoenix-Meyer. Meyer shaken up, slows down. Williams backs off, waits for Meyer to move up, comes in with another block, and Meyer, still a little shaken up, goes down. You can see her holding her head as she tries to get back up. That was a high elbow block thrown in by number 44, Rita Williams. Myers dumped back there by Sandy Dunn, and Williams has just gone by her for 1 point. Dunn moving up, a leg block into Judy McGuire. McGuire being pounded back. McGuire taken up to the rail. Another Bomber sent high. They're trying to move Weston out of the way as the Bombers are unable to get another jammer out, and Weston holding back. The jam called off. The jam called off. There were 3 chief points scored by Rita Williams, the assist of Sandy Dunn on that play. And that's going to close the gap up just a little bit more. Bomber lead cut down to 3 points, 37-34. 3 minutes 5. Correction, there were 4 points on that play. 37-44, a 3-point lead by the Bay Bombers. They were once up there, well up into the lead.
Don, I think more than the Rita Williams scoring the points on that play, it's what the Chiefs did to Peanuts Meyer and Judy McGuire. Now, that Meyer-McGuire combination has been delivering all night long for the Bombers on points in the women's field. McGuire couldn't even get out of the pack. Meyer was out there alone, one-on-one with Williams. Williams got the best of it, but then Meyer was taken down in the pack. And it was like, as much as anything else, the Chiefs were saying to the Bombers, there, that's what we can do, the best you've got.
There's a shot again of this tremendous crowd out here at Kezar Pavilion. Thousands of fans following the Bay Bombers this season. They're having a rough one. Chiefs in first place. Bombers down in third. Pioneers in second, and the Red Devils in last place right now. Jammer starting to play. Then Weston went out. She was hit into the rail by Sandy Dunn, and the women's captain and pivot skater, Sandy Dunn, is the only potential scorer out and moving right now. Jammer starting that play first. Judy McGuire breaking late for the Bay Bombers. She's a long ways back, and Dunn steady pacing herself to the rear. Skater hit, taken down is Joni Weston. Weston missing a block on Sandy Dunn. Dunn getting by and is up and moving again. However, McGuire is moving up, and Weston is looking to try and lead McGuire through for points. Back being lifted up. Here comes Dunn. Hits into the rear. Weston picking off Dunn. McGuire to the inside. Skaters going down. The official decision, there were 4 points each way.
Don, that was a big play that the Chiefs counted on. It could have put them in the lead. But all of Sandy Dunn's efforts countered. The Bombers pick up 4 points.
There it is again.
Here we see it again now. Sandy Dunn coming up. Here's where she could have had it all. Gets away. Now she goes down in that turn, and that cost her. Back up now. The Bombers, Joni Weston leading the way for Judy McGuire, are a lot closer to Dunn than she would have liked it. Now coming up, she couldn't go to the inside. She did not have the room. Weston jammed her high. It was McGuire that went through. And back to the live action now.
And of course, Dunn did pile her way through for 3 points additionally after scoring Weston right there. Even though Weston drove her, you can see how hard Joni Weston hit her. Even though she drove her high, she pushed her forward at the same time.
She got in, but the Bombers equaled it. They still have the same lead, 45-34. That's a big margin.
40 seconds left to go here in the 7th period. Then the men come onto the track for the 8th and final period of this game. Bombers don't return home to San Francisco for some time, and that will be approximately another 3 weeks. It'll be a doubleheader back at Kezar Pavilion. Jammers out and moving. 34, Dolores Tucker on the move for the Bay Bombers. Chiefs unable to get a jammer out. And Dunn already dropping back on defense. It's a race against time for Tucker. 8 seconds left to go in the period and ticking away. Tucker moves in. Dunn comes up with a block to the outside, spinning around. Tucker being hit back, and there's going to be a penalty. Fist flying down there. Helmets off. Tucker and Dunn. Tucker going after Dunn. Dunn has been hit over the bench. And that is the end of the 7th skating period. Joe getting up. Weston trying to pull her out. So the score at the end of the 7th skating period, the Bay Bombers 41, the Chiefs 38. Ken Kunzelman back calling the action. We are in the 8th and final skating period. Penalties carrying over into the men's field. And there was a point awarded there, Ken, on Sandy Dunn. So the score is now the Bombers 41, the Chiefs 38. There are 10 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the game. And it was also...
That was the point, Don. The scoreboard was just a little slow picking it up.
That's right, 42-38 now. Bay Bombers lead. Jammers out and moving on to play. 46, Ron Nelson on the move for the Chiefs. Alvin Mallory is out and moving for the Bay Bombers. These Jammers are really digging in. They've got Grohl and Atkinson at the rear of the pack. They're going to be facing Jammers coming up. Mallory going for the lead, and Nelson has been dumped. Mallory taking over the lead on the jam. He'll be facing Buddy Atkinson Jr. at the rear. Atkinson set waiting. Mallory moves in. High elbow block back by Atkinson. Slows him down. Stops him from scoring to the outside. Hits him back again. Nelson drives him forward into Atkinson. Mallory looking back. High elbow block again. Nelson has taken over the lead on this jam, but he'll be facing Bill Grohl at the rear. Both Jammers can score. Mallory put over the rail by Atkinson. Grohl being worked on by Atkinson now. Ronnie Nelson goes to the inside, cuts it off, picks up 1 Chief point on the play. 42-39, Bomber lead cut to 3. 9 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. Penalty times are up, and both teams are back to full strength.
Okay, it could be a little bit different now. Nobody's short-handed out there. But Atkinson, again, the power man on that play, and the Chiefs starting to trip away. They're going to have to. They're going to have to pick points up. The Bombers lead it by 3, 42-39 here in the final period. And the Bombers, Don, have been down throughout this series looking for a victory, looking for a victory. They're going to have to fight to hang on to this one.
Have not been able to beat this Chief team thus far this season. Nobody has.
Since Atkinson's been there, they've been invincible. And the crowd is coming alive here now, Don. They want to see the Bombers move.
Back reorganized. Whistle sounds. Jammers up and out. 31. Ronnie Turbin on the move for the Bay Bombers. Coming out for the Chiefs. It is Johnny Rice on the play. Rice following step for step. Now comes up with a block to the outside. Back to the inside. Turbin rides it out. Scrambles back. Tries the inside. Good block back there by Rice. No, shoulder. And Turbin off balance. Put down. Quickly getting back up. Limping a little bit. The pack picks him up. And the Bombers now without a jammer. Turbin breaking out again. He's a long ways back. Atkinson back to lead the way. Grohl back on defense. There's number 47, Johnny Rice, the man who can score. Here comes Atkinson. Power play by the Chiefs. Rice trying to go to the inside. Moves up and calls it off. Rice getting through a power play by the Chiefs. There were 4 Chief points scored, the assist of the entire Chief team on that play. Eight minutes, 15 seconds left to go.
Don, the Chiefs quite satisfied with themselves now. They had to come up with a big play. They had a big play there, and it's a brand new game. The scoreboard shows 42-42.
42-38, 4 points picked up. That ties it up, 42-42. Now the Chiefs quickly coming back. They're using a lot more of that weight right now. And, you know, when you get into a power play situation with a team that size, it's virtually impossible to break loose.
Everybody hits it once, and you've got nowhere to go but up.
Jammers up and out, 46. Alan Littles again for the Chiefs on the move. 36, Cliff Butler coming out for the Bay Bombers. 1-1 on the play. Little sets a fast pace. Butler moving up, driving to the inside, going for the lead. Jump block, sidestep by Littles. Butler completely going off the track. Littles moves on. And Cattell working on Billy Grohl at the rear of that pack. Here comes Alan Littles trying to score. Grohl moved out of the way. Littles spinning to the inside, and again a power play up there by the Chiefs. The official decision, there were 3 Chief points scored on the play by Alan Littles. Again, the assist of the entire Chief team. That breaks the tie, puts the Chiefs up on top by 3 points, 45-42, 7 minutes left to go in the game. Let's take a look at this again, Ken.
Okay, Don, the Chiefs have turned this around on 2 consecutive plays. Cliff Butler made his move for Alan Littles. Littles just wasn't there to hit. Butler off of the track. He came back up. He was pushing behind, but the Chiefs had the teamwork together. In 2 plays, they've turned this game around. Grohl hit to the rail. There's the primary defense. The power lift. Littles spinning through. Cuts it off as he hits the rail. Now we're back live.
6 minutes, 35 seconds left to go here in this game. Jammers trying to work their way out. And it's Gammon on the inside. Starts that play. Chiefs looking for someone. Mike Phillips reaching back. There's a whip, and Bud Atkinson Jr. moving out for the Chiefs after Gammon. Sends Gammon up into the rail. Grohl comes up, blocked into Buddy Atkinson. Hits him with another one. High elbow block. Grohl caught with a forearm block by Atkinson and dumped. Chiefs now the only scoring threat out moving, and O'Connell sending Grohl back on defense. Atkinson moving in. Bombers without anybody out, and Grohl getting ready. Quite a difference here in size. Grohl in around 185 pounds, and Atkinson up that 250 mark. Atkinson calling up in front. High elbow block back by Bill Grohl. Atkinson moving forward again. An elbow block into the midsection by Grohl. Leg block back by Grohl. Atkinson caught with a shoulder being ridden up into that rail area. Grohl sends him high. O'Connell there as a backup, keeping Cattell forward, preventing anybody from dropping back. Grohl again with a leg block to Atkinson to the outside. Elbow block high. A shoulder block back by Grohl. Atkinson staggered back, showing the signs of fatigue. Another leg block thrown back, and Atkinson hit into the rail by Grohl and over the rail. No score. Bill Grohl holding up on defense. (45-42). The Chiefs remain on top. 4 minutes, 55 seconds left to go in the game. A timeout called here on the track with 4 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. We're back with the action. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the game. Ken Councilman Don Drury calling the action here from Kezar Pavilion. The Chiefs lead 45-42. And the Chiefs get the Jammers out moving again. I'm telling you, Ken, tonight at the Oakland Auditorium and next Saturday when the Chiefs wind up this series against the Bombers, it's going to be rough. Chiefs in first place, and it's going to be a powerhouse game. Jammers out and moving on to play. It's 33. Mallory dumping Alan Littles. Bombers now the lead jammer out and moving. Alfonso Reyes back to do the blocking for the Chiefs. Atkinson is on the infield taking a well-deserved rest after a hard combination of blocks out there by Grohl. A double block set up by Cattell and by Reyes right now in this jam. Skater Mallory trying to fight his way through. O'Connell back with a block sends Littles into the rail. Bomber jammer trying to fight his way through is Alan Mallory. O'Connell spins into the inside. Jam called off. The official decision, there were 2 Bay Bomber points scored on the play. 1 Chief point was also picked up. Jam was not called off in time. So the score, the Chiefs 46, Bay Bombers 44. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the game.
Don, it was a gamble on that play. Charlie, desperately with a team behind, wants to get more than just that first point. He took the gamble to the spin whip on the inside. You couldn't get that second point and call it off before the Chiefs could score. But the Bombers are a point closer now. They're only down by 2.
2 minutes, 55 seconds left to go. Atkinson back in the lineup for the Chiefs. Jammers making their way up. Low and around the outside. Off a whip is number 32, the rookie Mike Chump. The veteran Johnny Rice for the Chiefs in pursuit. Rice comes up. There's a shoulder block into Chump. Hits him off balance. Down a straightaway. Another shoulder block. Oh, good solid one. And Chump put down hard. Chump back up and moving, but a Chief blocker coming out of the pack, bringing him back in. Johnny Rice in scoring contention. And Grohl keeping Atkinson forward up in that pack, preventing him from dropping back to assist. Rice yet to make a move. And it's going to be Butler back to do the blocking for the Bombers. Leg block by Butler, back into Johnny Rice. Atkinson trying to get back there to help out. Again, Grohl keeps him forward. Rice digging in, coming up out of the turn. Good solid elbow block back by Butler. Atkinson again kept forward, trying to get back there, but Butler doing a tremendous job for the Bay Bombers right now. Rice cautiously moving in on Butler. Jump block sends him into the rail. Time is running short for Johnny Rice. He moves forward again. Butler set, waiting. Shoulder puts him down. Time runs out. No score. Bomber defense holding up. The Chiefs continue to lead, however, 46-44, a minute, 35 seconds left to go in the game. And if you'll notice again, the Chiefs are trying to stall out the time on the clock right now.
They can run it, Don. They're ahead by 2 points. The Bombers stopped him on defense the last play, but did not put the Bombers any closer to the lead. They're down by 2, 46-44, a minute 20 on the clock, and the Chiefs are taking as much time as they can to reform this pack.
Again, we remind the fans that the jam should start with less than a minute. The last jam in each half. If it does start, regardless of the time on the scoreboard clock, it does run the full 60 seconds. A minute, 3 seconds left to go in the game. The back being reorganized, and Atkinson is drawing a warning from the officials to drop in. Now he's at the front of the pack. Less than a minute to go, but again, if the jam starts, it runs the full 60. Off a whip from O'Connell. Gammon is out for the Bombers. This jam runs the full 60 seconds. Chiefs trying to get somebody out. They've got Cattell out. They've got Reyes out. Grohl, Butler coming out after them. Gammon is your lead jammer. Gammon setting the pace. Here are your 4 other jammers in pursuit. Gammon moving in. He'll be facing Atkinson at the rear. Jammers coming along. Takedown by the Bombers. They have taken out the Chief jammers. Now the Bombers have the only jammer out. He's on your screen, number 35, Mike Gammon. They're coming up. Gammon digging up out of that turn. Leg block back by Atkinson. Gammon trying to go low. Back to the inside. I believe he scored over Atkinson. Trying to fight his way through for points. Atkinson staying right there with him. He's gone by. Gets by another one. Cattell coming back with a block. Gammon still going. Gammon digging in. He's by Jerry Cattell. Digging for more. Gammon trying to outmaneuver all of these skaters in the rear. Bombers trying to slow the pack down. O'Connell with a block. Ray is taken out. There's a whip. Gammon bounced into the rail. The official decision, Mike Gammon picking up 4 Bay Bomber points. 4 Bay Bomber points scored by Mike Gammon, an assist of Charlie O'Connell, most of it done by himself. The crowd going rampant here at Kezar Pavilion. The final score, the Bay Bombers 48, the Bay and the Chiefs 46. Bombers take a 2-point lead and win the game 48-46.